Who's your direct boss? I mean, I know you report to Vince, but was it
Yeah.
Kevin Dunn?
Kevin Dunn was my direct boss. He's the one that hired me on the spot. I don't have a lot of good things to say about him at this point in my life. I've let a lot of things go. I was incredibly loyal to him and to Vince. A lot of people know that. But looking back now that I'm a little bit older and I've done a lot of things and spent a lot of time at ESPN, I will say this: he is the most talented producer, hands down, that I've ever been around. Very few human beings can put together a WrestleMania. If a young kid out there who wants to produce thinks that they know what it takes to do a big show, watch WrestleMania, because that will separate the men from the boys, so to speak. And every WrestleMania that I was there for, and I've been a part of 16 WrestleManias, and Kevin Dunn was the man sitting in the seat. And the other part of this that I'm learning not to do with my own brands is they were so paranoid. They would never tell you this. So paranoid about somebody else coming and taking their spot. He was sitting in the seat producing probably for 20 years past when he should have been. He should have been this executive producer and have somebody else teaching them. So then when he left, less than a year ago, now you're starting to say who's going to be the guy, who can be the guy, because he loved that control. He loved instilling fear in a lot of people that work for him. He was supportive of me, and he gave me a lot of great opportunities. But there were times where he made me the scapegoat and other people the scapegoat. So I don't think anybody was crying tears when Kevin Dunn left the WWE a year ago. But I'll be grateful that he hired me, and I enjoyed my time. I don't want to act like I didn't, but there was a lot of things I wish would have done or gone differently.
Coach, when they offer you the job, uh, nothing to do with being in the ring. It was just
Yeah,
a backstage interviewer. Was
yeah.
that your that
Well,
was
yeah.
the pitch?
I mean, I had no experience in the ring, and so it was. And back then, we had a lot of studio shows. We had shows like Metal, Jacked.
Right.
When I walked in the door, Michael Cole, I'll give him a lot of credit, even though I would never want his life or his job within that life, because unless I'm mistaken, and I don't know this to be fact, but he started in 1996 and he became the voice of SmackDown. I don't believe that he has missed a show since 1996. And there's a show every single week. Eventually, they let him move to Texas with his family, but he lived in New Jersey before then. But when I walked in the door, he literally was standing there the first day and said, "Here you go." And he handed me 6 to 8 shows. So I got really good, really, really fast, because we would come back from TV on Wednesdays and we were right into the studio recording. We used to do a lot of they do 3 or 4 matches before Raw, then 3 or 4 matches for Sunday Night Heat before SmackDown. And so he handed me all those. And he's like, "I'm just doing SmackDown." And that was fun. He had put in 3 or 4 years of being the only on-air talent pretty much to do those shows. So Kevin Dunn, I will say this, that when you're in that environment, he kind of leaves you alone. He's upstairs. He's worrying about all the packages that were being done for the pay-per-views. Because remember, at the time, as I said, the pay-per-views were everything. So
Right.
he was the decision maker for everything production at WWE. That could be a good thing if you're brilliant, which he is, but it can be a bad thing because there's nobody there strong enough to tell him when it's wrong, tell him when he's not treating people well. And I would never want to be in an environment like that to where somebody couldn't tell me, "Hey, you're being too tough on this person," or, "Hey, you need to be a little bit tougher on that person." It was a very dictatorship type of life within those walls. But at the time, when the company's growing like that and it's all good and you're 23 years old and you're partying your ass off all over the world, the last thing anybody wants to hear is about you complaining to some guy's a little bit tough on you. And it wasn't even tough on me, just I'm saying the lifestyle and the vibe
Right.
within the WWE studios.
Right. What was your first impression of Vince? Not later on, like when you were like day one coach walking in.
I met Vince on his birthday, August 24th, 1999. I started the day after Lillian Garcia. I started, I believe, the same day as Trish Stratus. And Vince is a bigger than life personality. That can be good, but also now I think he's paying the price for that. And when he walks in the room, he's in the room. There are very few beings built like that have that aura. And to have that aura, you've got to be scared of nothing, be scared of no one, be willing to put it all on the line every single time you need to. And those are the good traits of Vince McMahon. But what the bad traits are is it's very hard to have friendships. We used to joke all the time that Vince only answered to two people, God and the tax man. And the tax man is kind of, you know what I mean? And that was our joke. But in all sincerity, if I didn't have a buddy that I could call on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon and said, hey, the game's on, you want to come over and have a beer? To me, that's a sad state of affairs. So when you go through something like he's gone through the last couple of years, which he brought on himself, you don't have anybody that's going to be there to pick you up. You're going to have anybody that say, hey, man, I know you're going through it. Why don't you come over and have a beer and we can talk it out? Because life is not easy for any of us. We all go through struggles. We all have big bumps along the way, and it's how you get up from them, but it's also having people help you get up. So I don't think, when you become a multi-billionaire like he is now after the sale, nobody is going to feel sorry for you, and nobody wants to be your friend either. So I was way too loyal to Vince McMahon. I did a lot of things that he asked me to do, nothing illegal, but a lot of things that I should have said, no, I'm going to be with my family. Or, the time that I was in the mall in Salina, Kansas, which I was just in a week ago. It's 3 hours from Kansas City. It's in the middle of nowhere where my parents live. I get a call from Kevin Dunn. Hey, we need you back here tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve. I know Vince needs you to shoot something with him in the tower, but then you don't have to go to Raw on Monday. I said, so I'm going to be sitting in my house on Monday by myself, but I got to give up Christmas Eve. So I stayed in a hotel in Kansas at the Kansas City airport on Christmas Eve to fly back Christmas morning to film something, so then he could fly on his private jet down to Florida to spend Christmas evening with his family. And those are the type of things that I wish I would have said no to.
Coach, plug your stuff.
We got a lot going on right now as far as wrestling business. You see behind me, behind the turnbuckle. It's a brand that's really expanding. We've got a show Monday nights at 10 o'clock right after Raw, whenever that's going to end now for Netflix. But we also do interviews. I do a show with Vince Russo called The Coach and Bro Show. That is also all that's on the same YouTube page. We're getting ready to announce these shows will be on a bigger platform starting very soon. Excited about that. And then we have a sports betting brand, Driving the Line. It's every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time, also on YouTube, but also we're on Amazon Prime, we're on DirecTV, YouTube TV, and that is 7 days a week. We're live 6 days a week, on demand on Saturdays. So heavy in the world of sports betting and wrestling, and then I do PFL and the PGA Tour. So with all of that, I'm very, very busy, but I'm very grateful that as the media business has evolved, we've been able to evolve with it. And it's not just me. I've got a team. I've got a lot of good people around me, and we're going to see where we go. I feel like I have about 25 good years left, and I want to use them to do good things with good people and for good people. That's all I care about. I don't need any me stuff anymore. It's got to be about growing the brands and doing it the right way and having fun doing it. Because the one thing I've realized through my wrestling career, through my family, is that we have no idea how long we're going to be able to do this stuff, whether it's not even just staying alive, but being able to be in this business and do this content and have people want to watch it or listen to it or be able to do, you and I, we've taken a few months to make this happen, but this is very enjoyable for me. And to me, that's what life's all about. And I've never understood the whole, hey, I'm here or you're here. We're all just breathing human beings that like the wrestling business or like sports. And that's all we try to do. And that's all I try to do every single day.